What if the souls you are destined to meet were not accidents? What if the faces that haunt your dreams, the hands you ache to hold again, were written into the fabric of your being, long before you were born? Carl Jung whispered of it, the unseen science, hidden beneath our longings, our collisions, our sacred recognitions. The ones you are meant to find will not arrive because of chance. They will arrive when the soul you have forgotten finally awakens to remember. This is the lost science, the secret journey of the soulmates you were always destined to meet. Long before we spoke of chemistry, before the idea of attraction was reduced to chance or instinct, there was a deeper knowing, a sacred memory passed from soul to soul, hidden beneath the layers of forgetting. In the temples of ancient civilizations, it was whispered that recognition between souls was not random but ritual, that somewhere beyond the veil of waking life, the ones we are destined to meet are chosen, before the body is chosen, before even time itself bends into a line. Carl Jung, the silent cartographer of the unseen worlds, dared to hint at this forgotten science. In his studies of the psyche, he found patterns too intricate to dismiss, moments too synchronistic to call coincidence. He gave these sacred patterns a name, synchronicity, not merely coincidence, but meaning erupting through the surface of life, threads of connection woven by forces beyond logic. Jung understood that in every profound meeting between two souls, it is not the minds that recognize each other first, but the ancient, dreaming self, the part of us untouched by the erosion of time. He spoke of the anima and animus, the sacred inner counterparts that dwell within every human being, waiting to be awakened by another. Within the masculine, a sleeping inner feminine. Within the feminine, a dormant inner masculine. When two souls meet, truly meet, it is these inner forces that collide, mirror, remember. The faces we are drawn to are not random masks. They are reflections of the wholeness we have lost, the songs we once knew but can no longer sing. Every love we chase, every heartbreak we endure, every magnetic pull we cannot explain. It is all the soul calling itself back into remembrance. Jung saw that what we call attraction is often the unconscious seeking to complete itself, not a craving of the flesh, but a yearning of the soul for its lost reflections. This is why the ones we are destined to meet seem to arrive by accident, but feel as inevitable as breath. Ancient traditions held this truth long before Jung put words to it. They spoke of the red thread of destiny, the invisible cord tying two souls across lifetimes, tightening when the time was right. They told stories of dream meetings, of fated crossings at the threshold between life and death, of eyes that recognize before words are ever spoken. Even now, buried beneath the noise of modern life, the soul still remembers this language. It whispers in our dreams. It trembles through our bones when we stand before someone we have not met, and yet have known forever. Jung taught that these encounters were more than romantic. They were invitations, sacred initiations into a deeper unfolding of the self. That the true purpose of these sacred collisions was not happiness or even completion, but awakening, to pull to the surface the forgotten parts of ourselves, to expose the shadows that block our own wholeness, to ignite the great process he called individuation, the slow, sacred birth of the true self. The soulmates you meet are not random blessings. They are mirrors, thresholds, and sacred tests. They come carrying the seeds of your own becoming, to break the armor you built, to remind you of the light you buried, to call you back to a truth so ancient it feels like pain before it feels like love. And in every meeting, whether it lasts a lifetime or only a heartbeat, there is a message waiting, a doorway, a sacred remembering that cannot be forced, but must be surrendered to. Because the ones you are destined to meet are not summoned by longing alone. They are summoned by readiness. They are summoned by the soul's ripening, by the heart's breaking open, by the secret songs we sang to each other before we ever took breath. And if you listen carefully, if you feel the ancient gravity pulling at your chest, you will know that this science of soulmates is not lost at all. It has simply been waiting for you to remember. The same souls appear in your life again and again, not because you are cursed, not because you have failed, but because your soul remembers what your mind forgets. The soul does not travel in straight lines. It moves in spirals, in echoes, in sacred returns. To the soul, a lifetime is but a single chapter in an endless unfolding. 1,000 years pass like a breath exhaled through the stars. And so the ones who carry the fragments of your becoming, the ones who hold the keys to your forgotten doors, return to you, lifetime after lifetime, moment after moment, until the awakening is complete. Carl Jung saw this hidden pattern stitched into human lives. He spoke of how the unconscious repeats what it cannot resolve, how it restages old wounds not out of cruelty, but as a sacred chance to choose differently. When you find yourself entangled with the same types of souls, when the same sorrows echo through different faces, when the joy and the grief feel impossibly familiar, it is not coincidence. It is memory, soul memory. You are being invited back to the sacred classroom of your own evolution. Some souls you meet to complete unfinished songs. Others you meet to break open the cages you built around your heart. Some arrive bearing tenderness, wrapping you in the echo of ancient joys. Others arrive as fire, burning away the illusions you mistook for yourself. But each one, whether wrapped in sweetness or pain, carries a sacred message. You are not finished yet. Jung taught that the psyche left unconscious is ruled by fate, that unless we bring our shadows into the light, we are doomed to repeat the same patterns, attracting the same mirrors, feeling the same ache dressed in different skin. But the soul is not punishing you. The soul is staging your liberation. Every return, every familiar face, every aching recognition is the soul's way of whispering, remember, heal, choose differently this time. Until the pattern becomes prophecy, until the longing becomes knowing, until the mirror cracks and shows you not the reflection of what is missing, but the radiance of what has been waiting inside you all along. You are not trapped in endless loops. You are walking a spiral staircase upward, returning again and again to the same lessons, but from higher and higher ground. And with each sacred meeting, with each choice to awaken rather than collapse, you move closer to the day when the same soul who once reflected your wounds will reflect your wholeness. This is why the same souls return, not to break you, but to break you open, to shatter the illusions that keep you separate from yourself, to offer you the sacred opportunity to meet yourself, not as the abandoned, not as the seeker, but as the one who has remembered. In every echo, in every longing glance, in every sorrowful goodbye, a doorway is hidden, a choice. Will you awaken? Will you see beyond the repetition into the sacred spiral it has always been? Because when you do, you will realize the soulmates who reappear again and again are not chasing you through lifetimes. They are standing still, waiting for you to come home to yourself, waiting for you to awaken, to recognize, to remember the covenant written long ago, that nothing real is ever lost, only forgotten. And now, the time has come to remember. Long before the mind can name it, the soul recognizes. Recognition is not logical, it is not rational. It is older than thought, older than speech, older than the body that now carries you. It is the ache in your bones when you meet a stranger and feel a door open within you. It is the trembling of the heart when two eyes meet across a crowded room and time folds in on itself. Carl Jung understood this hidden language of the soul. He knew that what the conscious mind calls love at first sight is often the soul remembering what the mind cannot yet recall. When two souls aligned by destiny cross paths, the signs are not loud, they are not shouting, they are soft, ancient, haunting. A glance that lingers longer than reason allows, a silence that feels fuller than 1,000 words, a familiarity so deep it feels almost painful. Jung taught that true recognition bypasses the rational mind entirely. The body knows, the dream knows, the unconscious remembers. You feel it in the weightlessness that floods your chest, in the gravity that roots your feet to the ground, in the sense that somehow you are both stepping forward and returning home at the same time. Recognition unsettles because it tears open the illusion that life is random. Suddenly you are standing face to face with proof that destiny breathes beneath the surface of all things. In some encounters, the awakening is gentle, a slow unfolding of memory and wonder. In others, it is violent, a shattering of every wall you built to protect yourself. But always, it moves the soul. Always, it stirs the deep waters of becoming. Jung spoke of the numinous, moments saturated with a sense of the sacred, encounters that pull back the veil and reveal the shining face of eternity. In these sacred recognitions, you are not meeting a stranger. You are meeting a mirror polished by lifetimes of searching, carrying the reflection of who you once were and who you are still becoming. True recognition does not fill the heart with hunger. It fills the heart with remembrance, a quiet certainty that needs no validation, no conquest, no possession. In the presence of a soul written into your journey, you feel seen beyond language. You feel known beyond knowing. You feel the echo of a promise made before the world taught you how to forget. Sometimes, recognition will terrify you, because it demands you step beyond the safety of your mind, into the uncharted ocean of the soul. It calls forth the parts of you still sleeping, still hidden beneath layers of fear, still trembling beneath the masks of survival. But if you listen, if you dare to move closer to the trembling, you will find something far more enduring than desire. You will find the silent music of the soul, singing the forgotten verses of your becoming. The signs are everywhere, if you know how to feel for them. The sudden surge of tears without reason, the impossible magnetism drawing you toward them, the dreams that whisper their name before you have even spoken it aloud. In the presence of a true soul connection, life itself seems to bend. The air thickens, colors sharpen, time dissolves, and for a heartbeat, you remember the place where all souls begin. Recognition is not a conclusion the mind reaches. It is a knowing the soul uncovers. And when it happens, you will understand that you are not falling in love. You are falling into memory, falling back into a song that never truly ended. You will realize that the face you are gazing into is not new. It is ancient. It is known. It is written into the architecture of your soul, like a star etched into the heavens. The science of soulmate recognition is not taught. It is not explained. It is awakened. It is the sacred opening of a doorway you were always destined to walk through, not to find another, but to find yourself reflected in the eyes of a soul who never truly left you, waited for the day you would finally remember, the language beyond language, the bond beyond blood, the song beyond sound. And once you remember, nothing will ever seem random again. Not every soulmate comes to bring peace. Some come to awaken. Some come to shatter. Some come to light the match that will burn away the life you thought you wanted, so that the life your soul longs for can rise from the ashes. Carl Jung understood the sacred violence of awakening. He taught that there is no coming to consciousness without pain, that the journey toward wholeness demands we confront everything we have buried, everything we have denied, everything we have refused to love within ourselves. The sacred work of soulmates is not to complete you, it is to reveal you. They arrive not to erase your wounds, but to expose where the light has been sealed away. In their reflection, you will see your beauty, and you will see your shadows. You will see the places where you still shrink, still abandon yourself, still hide behind the illusions of who you were told to be. Some soulmates come bearing tenderness, offering you the love you forgot how to give yourself. Others come wrapped in fire, breaking you open so completely that you can never again pretend to be asleep. But all true soul connections share one sacred purpose: to awaken the sleeping parts of you, to tear away the false skins, to demand your full becoming. This work is not easy. To stand naked before a soul who sees you, truly sees you, is to risk everything you have built to protect yourself. It is to allow the walls to crumble, the masks to fall, the armors to rust away under the soft, relentless gaze of remembrance. Jung spoke of individuation, the process by which the unconscious contents of the self are brought into the light, integrated and made whole. Soulmates are the sacred catalysts of this alchemy. They summon the buried griefs, they ignite the dormant gifts, they disturb the waters of the soul, until what is false can no longer float. And in their presence, we are asked to make a choice. Will you cling to the fragments of who you were, or will you surrender to the wild river of who you are becoming? Many run from this work. They turn away from the souls who awaken them, mistaking the discomfort for danger, the sacred ache for a wound. But those who stay, those who choose to be undone, discover something rarer than any comfort the world can offer. They discover themselves, not the self built from survival, not the self stitched together from expectations and fears, but the luminous, eternal self that has been waiting patiently for the storm. Because only after the fire, only after the crumbling, only after the sacred undoing, can the true soul rise. Some soulmates stay for a season, some for a lifetime, some only long enough to place the key in your trembling hand and point to the door you must walk through alone. Their duration does not measure their importance. A single moment of recognition can rewire the destiny of a lifetime. A single goodbye can shatter the chains you could never break yourself. They come not to give you completion. They come to give you the tools to remember you were whole all along. And when the sacred work is done, when the mirrors have shown you all they came to reveal, you will find yourself standing in a silence so profound, so beautiful, that it cannot be filled with anything but awe. You will find that the greatest gift a soulmate can offer is not their presence, it is your awakening. The journey through soulmates is not about finding completion in another. It is about becoming the wholeness that calls the right souls home. After the fires have burned away the illusions, after the sacred work has been endured and embraced, after the mirrors have shattered and shown you the face beneath the masks, something begins to stir within you. A remembering, a return. No longer frantic, no longer chasing ghosts through half-lit corridors, no longer bargaining with destiny. You become the beacon, you become the gravity. Carl Jung taught that when the unconscious is made conscious, fate is transformed into choice. And when you awaken, you cease being a seeker lost in the wilderness of longing. You become the flame to which everything meant for you must find its way. You no longer chase those who mirror your wounds. You draw to you those who mirror your wholeness, those who no longer complete you, but recognize you, those who no longer fill your gaps, but dance with your fullness. The soul, now awake, moves differently through the world. It stops mistaking hunger for love. It stops mistaking intensity for truth. It knows the difference between the rush of unfinished business and the stillness of sacred recognition. When you return to yourself, the world rearranges itself around the song you now sing. You no longer grasp. You no longer plead. You simply exist in the radiance of your becoming. And from that place of quiet sovereignty, the ones meant for you cannot help but find you. They will not come to rescue you. They will not come to complete you. They will come as fellow travelers, each carrying their own sacred journey, each recognizing in the other the quiet, aching beauty of a soul who has dared to remember. And when you meet, it will not be the clashing of two halves searching for their missing pieces. It will be the meeting of two oceans, deep calling to deep, vastness calling to vastness, ancient memory greeting ancient memory. Love then will not be the frantic cry of need. Love will be the silent bow of two souls who have come home. And even if life scatters you across continents and centuries, even if circumstances pull your hands apart, the bond will not fray, because it was never made of flesh. It was woven from the same golden threads that stitch the stars into the heavens. The souls who are written into your journey will find you again and again, not because you chased them, but because you remembered yourself. And when you remember yourself, the universe remembers you too. This is the sacred return, not a finding, a remembering, not a conquest, a homecoming. And as you stand in the quiet gravity of your own awakened soul, you will realize the ones you sought outside you were always reflections of the one you were destined to become.